She walked away from the sport at 16. 4 years later, she walked back and straight to the top of the Olympic podium. Alysa Liu, the 20-year-old prodigy from the San Francisco Bay Area, delivered what may be the most breathtaking performance of the Milan Cortina Winter Games on Thursday, February 19, claiming the women's figure skating gold medal with a career-best score of 226.79 points at the Milano ice skating arena. It is the first time an American woman has stood atop that podium in 24 years, a drought that stretched all the way back to Sarah Hughes at Salt Lake City, 2002. Dressed head to toe in a glittering gold-sequined gown that seemed to absorb and radiate every spotlight in the arena, Liu took to the ice third to last, sitting in third place after Tuesday's short program. What followed was a free skate so fluid, so charged with quiet confidence, that it rewrote the entire narrative of the night. Skating to the late Donna Summer's MacArthur Park Suite, a program she had repurposed from the previous season after music licensing issues forced her to abandon a planned Lady Gaga routine, Liu moved with the ease of someone who had long ago stopped needing the audience's approval, and yet somehow drew them closer with every stroke. Her only blemish was a flying camel spin mid-program, where judges deducted points for excessive travel across the ice. Everything else was pristine. From her opening triple flip to her closing combination sequence, Liu executed her elements with a precision that made the sport look effortless. As the final notes of MacArthur Park faded and the crowd erupted, Liu gave a casual flip of her ponytail, a gesture so unassuming it was almost defiant. Her coaches, Philip Di Guglielmo and Massimo Scali, did not share her composure. They punched the air, embraced each other, and rushed to meet her at the boards, tears clearly threatening. Then came the wait. The two skaters directly behind Liu, Japan's Ami Nakai, who had led after the short program, and three-time world champion Kaori Sakamoto, still had their performances to deliver. Both are elite athletes. Both were capable of overtaking Liu. Instead, each made critical errors on their combination sequences, and the margin that should not have existed became the margin that decided everything. Sakamoto finished with 224.90 points, earning the silver medal, while Nakai scored 219.16 to take bronze. The moment Nakai's score was announced, US teammate Amber Glenn leaped onto the kiss and cry stand and raised Liu's hand in the air. Liu, in characteristic fashion, turned and applauded the 17-year-old Nakai, who sprinted over and threw her arms around the new champion. International Olympic Committee President Kirsty Coventry, who was present in the arena for the free skate, presided over the medal ceremony on the podium, placing the gold around Liu's neck. The medal, gleaming against the blue ribbon, blended almost seamlessly into Liu's dress. Her hair, streaked with golden highlights designed to resemble the growth rings of a tree, completed an image that felt less like a sporting moment and more like a statement. It is Liu's second gold medal of these games. Earlier in the competition, she anchored Team USA's victory in the team event during the opening week in Milan. That combination now places her among the most decorated American figure skaters in a single Winter Olympics. She is also the first American woman to claim any individual medal at the Games since Sasha Cohen won bronze at Torino in 2006, and the first American in any individual discipline since Nathan Chen's triumph at Beijing 2022. The road to this moment, however, was anything but linear. Liu made her Olympic debut at those same Beijing Games at the age of 16, becoming the youngest US women's figure skating Olympian in history at the time. Weeks later, she won bronze at the World Championships. And then, quietly, she stepped away. The burnout was real. The passion had dimmed. She needed to breathe. For 2 full seasons, Alysa Liu was gone. She returned in 2024 with something different about her, not just her skills, which had deepened, but her relationship with the sport itself. She spoke openly about reclaiming the creative process, choosing her own music, collaborating on her choreography, designing her costumes. Figure skating had become hers again, not a machine she was feeding. "I choose to be here," she told Olympics.com earlier this season. "I love that I was able to come back and choose my own destiny." Last year, that rediscovered drive carried her to the World Championship title, ending a 1-9 year drought for American women on that stage. In Milan, she carried that same energy into every appearance. Between the short program and the free skate, while most competitors were deep in their mental preparation routines, Liu was reportedly comforting Glenn, who had struggled badly in Tuesday's short program and fallen to 13th place. "She was in there to comfort me," Glenn confirmed. The warmth was genuine, but it also said something about where Liu's head was. She had long since decided that the medal was not the point. "Medals do not validate me in any way," Liu said in November. "I give myself validation when I'm able to create and when I have a sheet of ice or a dance room to do what I love to do." And yet, in one of sport's most delicious ironies, the athlete who cared least about the gold was the one who earned it most cleanly. Glenn's own story on Thursday night deserves recognition. The three-time and reigning U.S. national champion had been one of the pre-competition favorites, but a major error in the short program left her 13th realistically out of medal contention. What she produced in the free skate was one of the most emotionally raw performances of the evening. Skating to "I Will Find You" and the return, Glenn landed her signature triple axel as the opening jump and followed it with 6 additional triples. She bobbled the final loop jump, using her hand to stay upright, but the crowd responded with a roar anyway. Her score of 214.91 placed her 5th overall, a climb of 8 spots, and the look on her face when the number was read said everything about what she had been carrying into that arena. "So many things have not gone my way in the last few weeks," Glenn told reporters. "I just said, screw it. I went out there and did my job. Instead of trying to find that perfect moment, I just said I wanted to go do what I wanted to do every day, and I think that helped." Glenn is 26. At the next Winter Olympics, she will be 30. The math is not kind, and she knows it. Thursday night was likely her last real shot, and even in falling short of the podium, she reclaimed something important about herself. Rounding out the top 5 was Japan's Moni Chiba, who finished 4th with 217.88 points. Adelia Petrosian, the 8-year-old Russian, competing as a neutral athlete, attempted the only quadruple jump of the entire women's competition, a quad toe loop, but fell on the attempt, and ultimately finished just under a half-point behind Glenn in 6th. Inside the arena after the medals were presented, Liu stood with the gold draped over her glittering dress and tried to put it into words. "I'm so honored to have this and be alongside the people who have won it in the past," she said. "They're incredible. It's crazy that I have the same thing they do now." She paused, then smiled. "I'm so happy with the way I skated today. The crowd was incredible, and the skate went exactly how I wanted it to." As for the dress that matched the medal that matched her hair, Liu kept it simple. "It matches my hair," she said. 3 days remain in these Milan Cortina Winter Games, and the conversation about what defines this particular Olympics is already beginning to take shape. Pressure, resilience, and the rare athlete who finds a way to make peace with both these themes have run through the competition from the very first day. Liu has now added her chapter, and it may be the most quietly radical of all. A champion who didn't need it, wanted it anyway, and skated like both things were true at the same time. What do you think does Alysa Liu's comeback story rank among the greatest in Olympic figure skating history? Did you watch the free skate live, and what moments stood out most to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to stay on top of every major story from the Milan Cortina Games as it breaks, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment.